ESPN Radio. ESPN 97.7 and 100.1. Watch live on QSportsTalk.com. Tomorrow's broadcasting stars today. Broadcasting live from the campus of Syracuse University. This is Newhouse Afternoon.
Welcome to Newhouse Afternoon on ESPN 97.7 and on Twitch on QSportsTalk.com. My name is Cedric Derecho, and I'm here with Teddy Caputo and Brooke Kilgore. First off, guys, happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween.
Yes, happy Halloween.
We made it.
Yes.
We have a lot to talk about. We've got Syracuse football. We've got the MLB, the NBA, the NHL. We've got our NFL preview, and we've got some more Syracuse sports for you.
Yeah, we're excited to be here, especially on Halloween. As you can maybe see with Brooke, she has a costume on, and Cedric's got his costume there
it's
set
right here.
and
It's
ready to go,
ominous.
and you'll see what that is. If you want to know what I am, might be a little hard to tell, but basically some people have said I look like Clark Kent, so I'm rocking the Clark Kent look, and I do also, Clark Kent right now, but when duty calls, he has to become Superman. So I do have the Superman shirt here. And it is a warm day. Apparently we're breaking record heat on Halloween. So I'm going to rock the Superman shirt during the show today.
Yeah, wearing a sweatshirt was
Get
not
a little
smart.
bit more comfortable.
And if you guys are listening in a car or listening to audio, get on QSportsTalk.com to see what our costumes look like. We're live on Twitch right now as well.
Exactly. The only thing is I'm missing the cape.
Sorry, that's my fault. That's my
okay.
fault.
There was going to be a cape, but I'm still rocking the Superman shirt. And take off the glasses.
Oh, can you see
go.
without those on?
Not from afar, but
Okay.
I could see my computer screen. I could see you too, so it's okay.
That's perfect.
Yeah, so Syracuse, big game this Saturday, 12 o'clock against Virginia Tech. They had a chance to shine on the national stage against Pitt, and it could not have gone worse, guys.
Yeah, it was an unfortunate game to watch, especially when Syracuse took down Pitt last year, and it was kind of a dominant win in the Dino Babers era where we hadn't seen a lot of energy coming out of Syracuse. But we weren't in Yankee Stadium this time. We were in Pittsburgh, and that maybe had something to do with it. Maybe there were some more fall colors than what they were used to here. But they come out. Kyle McCord throws 5 interceptions, guys. When I tell you I placed a wager, I did not bet. I don't sports bet, but vocally betted that he was going to throw 5 interceptions. And I won. That was crazy on multiple ends. So, yeah, I should probably look at sports gambling maybe in the future a little bit there. But, 5 interceptions on his end. I mean, Teddy, what did you see?
Yeah, just looking at those interceptions, he really was just trying to force the ball. I mean, SU's running game, we've been talking about it. They haven't established it this year, and they're relying on Kyle McCord to throw the ball. He threw the ball 64 times against Pitt and dropped back 68 times. And it's just wild because we were talking about Kyle McCord being a dark horse for the Heisman earlier in the year. And not to say he isn't a great player, he is. But with that 5 interception game, he is tied for second in all of NCAA FBS in interceptions. He's tied with Devin Dampier of the New Mexico Lobos and Jake Garcia of the East Carolina Pirates. These are both non-Power 4 teams that don't have strong bowl hopes this year, both with either 500 records or subpar. So to be in that list, that's not company you really want to be in.
And I think it's just disappointing because had they won the game, I think there's no doubt about it, they would have been ranked. And the fact of the matter is that all their playmakers played. They had Marlo Wax for this game. Trebor Pena, there was a lot of questions of him whether he would play or not. They had everybody, and they fell flat on their face.
Yeah, and I mean, let's talk about it. Pitt put up a season low of only 217 yards of offense. Yeah. So basically, Syracuse played offense for them by giving up those 5 interceptions.
The Pitt defense was their offense.
Yes,
21
exactly.
points. You don't need to rely on the offense that much at that point.
Another interesting statistic, too, that we should point out. Pitt is the first team with 3 pick sixes in a single half since FIU in 2005. To make you guys feel old, that was the year I was born. So it's been a little bit of time. It's been about 19 years since that's happened. So it just kind of goes to show that that wasn't really a game for Syracuse. And hopefully as we transition to Virginia Tech this Saturday, we can see a little bit of change, a little bit more momentum here. But yeah, that was definitely a game that just kind of blew my mind a little bit. So.
Yeah, and we've been talking about them trying to get Oronde Gadsden back into the flow and the rhythm, and we did find him. Kyle McCord found him a few times, but a few of those interceptions were intended to go to Oronde Gadsden, and just the defense knew that. So they've been game planning for us, and we got to switch up that game plan, really emphasize the run, and establish that, really build some physicality going forward. As Fran Brown has even stated, we are a physical football team. You got to win the line of scrimmage, establish the run, be a physical football team this week against Virginia Tech.
And you know what? They held Desmond Reed, one of the top running backs in the country, to just 47 yards rushing. And I think they would have absolutely taken that if you had told them before the game, Fran Brown, you're going to hold Desmond to 47 yards. Little did they know, 41 points on the board from the 5 turnovers.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. And they held us to only 6 rush yards, though. Talk about that. Like, of the 327 total yards that we accrued from that game, 321 of them were passing. So again, to jump back to our topic earlier, they are heavily relying on Kyle McCord and his receivers, which unfortunately we couldn't get the job done with that last game. So.
I mean, LaQuint Allen held to 2.1 yards per carry.
Yeah.
That's and with crazy. The QB sacks counting in college football, 6 yards rushing is not going to get it done anywhere.
No, not at all. Not at all. And that's something that needs to change going into this week because, again, like, if we can't establish a run, teams are going to just game plan for the passing game and Kyle McCord. So they have to expect something. The offense has to expect something different this week. That's something that I'm looking forward to seeing.
Yeah, and the odds makers, Syracuse has taken a hit. According to ESPN Bet, this upcoming match against Virginia Tech, 69% chance they give to the Hokies to win the game.
Wow. That's crazy. And that just makes it a little bit more doom and gloom for the hopes that we have this year. We were talked up about potentially making a playoff bid with the expanded playoff, and it seems like with that, I don't want to say the playoff hopes are doomed, but they kind of are. What do you guys think? I mean, what's the expectation now for this season?
I mean, last season we were just thankful we made it to a bowl game and then kind of blew up and didn't do as well as we wanted to.
Yeah.
I'm nervous with, last time we talked, we were a lot more hopeful. We were seeing a chance to be ranked and be in the playoffs. And now I'm curious if Syracuse fans are starting to transition back into that bowl mentality. Like, let's just get to 5 wins. Let's just get there and make sure we can secure a bowl and at least see some postseason.
Yeah.
But I'm not feeling too confident if they don't get this win against Virginia Tech.
Yeah. I still think the goal here is 8-4. I think 8 wins are very much possible. And to get to a bowl game and win.
Yeah.
That'll be the most important thing.
Yes.
Definitely.
No, totally. And again, I mean, we had high hopes going to the season. Suffering a loss like that is very demoralizing. You really have to have a strong game coming out after that to not fall into the same kind of rhythm that we fell into last year, because then we just started losing games. Fran Brown's been saying this whole week, we got to keep our chin up, but he does recognize that was an important game that we needed to have.
And a little bit of history being made here. This is the 3rd time that the Hokies are going to come to the Loud House and actually play since Syracuse joined the ACC. So this is going to be kind of an exciting matchup. Syracuse is winning 7 of the last 8 contests that they've had in Syracuse, but they were all kind of in dramatic fashion in some sense. We also had NFL and College Football Hall of Famer Dwight Freeney. He sacked then Virginia Tech Michael Vick 4.5 times, even though it was a loss. There's a lot of history. There's going to be a lot of drama, hopefully. Hopefully it'll be a very exciting game, especially for homecoming weekend. We've got a bunch of alums coming back to celebrate as well. So hopefully coming back after, that 34 straight days without a home game here in Syracuse, the fans will be excited, and hopefully our team can feed off of that. So.
Yeah.
And you know what? The team loves Fran Brown. I think that his players, it's clear that they've bought in this season. They've already, outshined, outdone themselves with the expectations coming into this season. So I think Fran Brown will have this team ready to play against Virginia Tech. It's only up from here, right? Can't get much worse.
Yeah, no, exactly. And this is a building year. Like, they're really trying to build something here. I see this as a similar thing as Colorado, who last year they kind of finished below expectation with Deion Sanders. But now this year they're playing better, and who knows? Maybe they it looks like that they're one of the top teams that could possibly make a run to win the Big 12. So I kind of see Syracuse in a similar boat this year. Yes, we have high expectations, but everyone's rallying behind Fran Brown. He's changing the culture. So I would just tell everybody, take a deep breath, and we'll be okay. Just trust the process. He's taking us places.
However, the Hokies cannot be underestimated. This is a team that has won 3 straight games. They beat Georgia Tech last time out, and I think we all remember that game against Miami where they probably should have won that game, honestly, at the end on that Hail Mary, but, reversed the call on the field there.
Yeah. Yeah, no, Miami, and that's the thing. Miami, it's surprising because they're ranked 5th in the nation. They're undefeated, but they tend to let these teams hang around, even like California. They had to come back against Cal, and they barely survived that game. So, with us, Virginia Tech kind of flexed their muscle there, and they're hot. They're on a hot streak, so hopefully we can cool that down.
Definitely. And let's talk a little bit about the quarterback comparison here. Let's talk about Hokies quarterback Kyron Drones. He's got 1,447 yards right now, 62% completion rating, averaging about 7 yards, but he's not that far behind, about half down from Kyle McCord. But Kyle McCord only has a 63.6% completion rate and an overall rating of 135, where Drones has 133. So while he may not have the amount of attempts that McCord has, he does have the skill, and he clearly does have the consistency to battle with him on the field. And then as well as their running backs, take a look at this. LaQuint Allen only has 481 and a team total of 632 rushing yards just this season. The Hokies are leading SU in rushing yards with Beisha Tutton with 951 and a team total of 1,564 rushing yards. Yeah. So clearly this is going to be, I feel like the Hokies have a chance on either side of the ball, whether they want to rush and they want to play deep and throw their receivers down the field. I think they have the chance. It's just, is Syracuse going to be able to step up and counter that when they know the pass defense is coming?
Yeah, and like you said, they're running for almost 200 rushing yards a game. SU's had an issue stopping the run on the defensive side. They have Wax back, so hopefully that helps. But you got to stop the run this game. Otherwise, like you said, Cedric, Virginia Tech really has a big chance here against Syracuse.
At least Syracuse is back at home for the first time in 35 days. It's the longest amount of time team has been away from home since 2008.
Yeah, that's also crazy to think about that. Almost, over 15 years. But guys, I would really love to implore you. It's Halloween. Yeah. I think we should do something a little fun. How about we take the time to look at Syracuse, and maybe we can do it by positioning or, sections of the team, but comparing them to a type of candy. There are some really good candies. There's some really bad candy, like getting a toothbrush in your candy bag. Like, what is that? But we should compare parts of the team to different types of candies that we would want to get for Halloween. How about that? All right. So, yeah, you want to start?
I was going to ask Cedric to start. I have to think about this a little bit.
No, I think the offense is a Kit Kat bar.
A Kit Kat,
It's got that crunch, delicious. The offense was rolling on all cylinders except for last week.
Yes. Well, and also Kit Kat bars, they have layers and they're breakable. You can look at specific parts of an offense. Not the Kit Kat bar isn't just like a Milky Way where it's like one strand. Kyle McCord is a piece. LaQuint Allen is a piece. And then you also have your lines and all of that kind of stuff too. So it's very layerable, very breakable.
And this is why we have Brooke on the show, folks. Look at that candy bar analysis.
I know, right? Exactly. Yeah. No, I agree with you guys. I think the SU offense is very Kit Katty. But my least favorite candy growing up was Junior Mints, and last week was definitely a Junior Mint week. So that was tough. Hopefully we don't have more Junior Mint weeks like that.
I'd give the special teams the Junior Mints too.
Ooh,
definitely.
Okay.
I agree with that.
No, I love Junior Mints. It reminds me of going to the movies with my grandparents, and we also got Milk Duds. It was really great. I'm going to have to go special teams. I would say Skittles, especially when you get the green Skittle. I don't know if you guys like green Skittles. I don't like green Skittles, so it's always sad when I get a green Skittle, but then you get the purple and the red ones, and your life is just a little bit better. They're playing so inconsistently that sometimes you get the green Skittle and you're really upset, but then you get another Skittle and it's great and they're doing fine. So I would say the Skittles mark the inconsistency and the temperance of the special teams unit. There's always going to be good parts, but they're also struggling at the same time.
In a way, you can compare the offense to Skittles.
Yes.
Too, just because
love that.
The fact that Skittles are always sweet, even if you have them together, and basically, it's predictable. You're always predicting something sweet. The offense has become a little predictable.
Yeah.
All right, guys. After this short 4-minute break, we'll be back with the NFL preview for this week. You are listening to Newhouse Afternoon on ESPN 97.7. Watch us on Twitch if you want to see our costumes at qsportstalk.com.
I should check the Twitch.
Yes.
Has anyone been commenting?
I should have had it up.
No, I can unveil this right here for the Jets segment.
Are you going to be able to keep your headset on?
I don't know. We'll see.
Spooky show.
Spooky show.
Yeah. I think this was before we went on though. So I don't know if one of you guys in the studio can help me out with some of the comments, because I have it up now, but I don't have anything since we started. But yeah, if you guys have any comments about our costume, we spared Jordan because none of us dressed up as him this week. So you're welcome, Jordan. But yeah, no. I can't believe it's so warm today. Like, I wish.
I'm regretting this sweater like 100% right now. Like, it's so bad.
I honestly think I'm going to keep this shirt off, like, the rest of the day. Like, honestly, I'll just walk around as Superman. I don't care. I mean, I'll put the glasses back on. Well, it's funny. I do have contacts that I could, like, wear. I could change them, like, put my contacts on so I can actually see. But it's okay. I'll keep my glasses off and then put them back on. But yeah, I'm looking forward to that, my friend. I'm really looking forward to that.
For you guys watching on Twitch, you will see the reason why. There's a good reason for this mask that I'm about to put on right here.
Yes, a very good reason.
Yeah. I just have no idea when the snow is going to come now.
Yeah.
Like, it was pretty obvious, like, last October it was building up to it, and then the next day it was here. But, like, now I, like, literally cannot tell when it's going to start snowing again.
Yeah.
It's so hot.
You're not from New York, right?
I'm from Arizona.
Oh, that's right. You told me that. Yeah, so
this is, like, nothing, but when your whole wardrobe is winter right now, it's a little hard to...
Yeah, I'm just so used to it now in Syracuse. Like, and all the Twitch people who are listening and the Cuse weather, it is so up and down. It's got mood swings. You know, it can be like, it's 78 right now. This weekend it's probably gonna be like 40.
It's supposed to rain soon. I saw it in the weather forecast.
Yeah, I wanted it to be warm this weekend, like relatively warm, 60, 70. But nope, it's gonna be like down in the 40s again.
Ugh. No, thank you.
Yeah. Just, wanted this warm weather because I'm going somewhere this weekend where, it's possibly could get kayak, but if it's super cold, like, I don't know. It'd be nice because this is perfect kayak weather.
I'm so bad at kayaking.
Really?
I just, like, keeping yourself, I don't even know. Like, I just remember the last time I went kayaking, like, my mom had to come save me, like, 5 times because it's just, I could not control the direction to save my life.
Yeah, I learned it when I was like 10 or 11, so I've been doing it for a while.
Okay. You got the motions down.
Got the motions down, yeah. It feels like a row, honestly, than more of like an arm thing. Like, you gotta get your back into it, For those watching, get your back into it.
Are we doing a candy rating for the Jets, too?
We could.
Raisinets. Chocolate-covered Raisinets.
I thought it was, like horror movie.
Huh?
Like horror movie. You know what I mean?
Oh.
Like what horror movie does this
we can do that.
us of,
We can do that.
Like,
I was going to say Raisinets because it's like, you get the chocolate and you think it's going to be something good and you get a raisin.
I like the chocolate raisinette analogy.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
We could do candy and a horror movie. Like, what's stopping us from doing...
That's true, we could.
Doing both.
I honestly can't think of one for the Jets.
Yeah.
What are, like, bad horror movies, guys?
Bad horror movies?
Like all the Michael Myers movies, I guess. How does this man keep coming back from the dead? Like,
yeah. Like bad isn't like scary, or bad isn't like not good?
Just not good. Like high expectations. Not good.
I was very underwhelmed with.
Watch your favorite ESPN Syracuse sports talk shows on QSportsTalk.com. Tomorrow's broadcasting stars today. Broadcasting live from the campus of Syracuse University. This is Newhouse Afternoon.
Welcome back to Newhouse Afternoon on ESPN 97.7 and on QSportsTalk.com. We emphasize that second part, ladies and gentlemen, because if you're not on QSportsTalk.com right now, get it on. If you're not driving, we don't condone that if you're driving, but if you're not driving, get on QSportsTalk.com. Turn on the Twitch because I've got the mask on. I've got a 1500s plague doctor mask on, that big bird mask that those old doctors used to wear. And why am I wearing this today, guys?
Why?
This is symbolizing the end of the Jets season, the impending doom. It is near.
Yeah, no, I guess Davante Adams is not the savior they were hoping him to be. You know,
The mask just popped off, by the way.
So yeah,
Tough to keep with the headset on.
We'll figure that out. But anyways, yeah, no, it's clearly a black plague in New York, there in the Meadowlands for the Jets and the Giants too. But focusing on the Jets, you know, they were looking for a cure, especially because they thought they had Dr. Rogers there and he needed some medicine. Davante Adams is not that medicine, unfortunately. At least not right now. Maybe it needs more time, more disbursement. But, you know, only 4 receptions, 54 yards against the Patriots. You'd think that would be the game he'd have some sort of breakout. Garrett Wilson is still doing well, but it's just not enough. It's just not enough.
Yeah, I like the story by Rich Simney, an ESPN staff writer, who writes down, if New York continues to spiral, maybe it could use Vincent Price and an AI-generated voiceover for its 2024 highlight film.
Oh, my goodness.
They're going after them. Like, Woody Johnson, the Jets owner, said one of the most talented teams ever assembled by the New York Jets, and then, quote, end quote, is on its way to becoming one of the biggest busts in recent NFL history. Like, that's just... It's crazy to just see this downfall. I mean, look at Cedric.
I know.
His heart is broken over there.
Yeah.
Well, I'm an Eagles fan, but let me just say that, you know, this team has way too much talent to be 2-6.
Yeah, it really does. It really does. And they've lost 5 straight and the Houston Texans, they're not a bad team, even though they're a little banged up. There could be 6 straight games. With Aaron Rodgers, we thought that was impossible, honestly. Like, going into the season, you would have never thought that the Jets were going to lose 6 straight games with Aaron Rodgers as their starting quarterback. Although Zach Wilson is no Aaron Rodgers, I don't even think that happened last year with the Jets and Zach Wilson, and everybody had stuff to say about him. So this is just very nightmarish for the Jets.
And it's hard to just pinpoint just one problem here. I mean, they got rid of Robert Saleh. They get Davante Adams coming in. You know, very limited last game against the Patriots. 4 catches, 54 yards. I mean, this is a Patriots team that came in 1-6 on the year, you know, trying to get the top 3 choice in the draft. And maybe it's time for the Jets to think about a top draft choice.
Yeah, and that's the thing is the Patriots had just lost 6 games in a row before winning that game. And the Jets beat them early in the season 24-3. So it's just a sign that, like, the Jets are just spiraling downward, and they got to figure it out. Again, I mean, they ran the ball a lot more. They had a balanced attack, but I think the big issue with the Jets is the defense. Last year, the defense is what kept them in, especially with a lackluster offense led by Zach Wilson. Now the defense is pretty abysmal. Like, honestly, they do have Hassan Reddick back, but I don't think he's made a significant impact to start this season. So we'll see what happens. But the Jets, they're just not cutting it. They're not cutting it.
You know, the worst part about it is that, at least on paper, the Jets is, you know, they're a team that's trying to win this year.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and I mean, the path was paved for their success. I mean, some of these games on their schedule, they should be very winnable games. I mean, the Patriots twice, the Broncos. I guess that's a surprise. You know, I'm pretty surprised, but their schedule really doesn't get easier either. They have the Texans this week, the Cardinals, the Colts, who are not terrible, even though they're going through some quarterback stuff. Seahawks, Dolphins with Tua again. Jaguars, who are not great but seem to keep in close games. Rams, Bills, Dolphins. Like, they do not have an easy schedule. I think, honestly, they should consider tanking and just look into next season, maybe get a good draft pick out of this.
I mean, it's. I have no words. I have no words for the New York Jets. I mean, guys. If you're just joining us, get on QSportsTalk.com. I've got the 1500s Plague Doctor mask on. I am writing the Jets off today. The season is over. I mean, Teddy, for you, is there any hope for the Jets this year?
I don't think so. I really don't. I mean, they would have to really start playing well, and I think it's up to the defense. Because they're relying so much on Aaron Rodgers, so much on the offense, where it's just like the defense can't make the stops. They're letting the Patriots come back and beat them with Jacoby Brissett, which I don't want to throw dirt on him, but like the Patriots are 2-6. Like they are not a playoff team. And so to let your defense to let that happen, like that's a serious concern. I don't think they're ready for the playoffs this year.
Well, you know what topic this sounds like, right? Syracuse's offense. Yeah. You made the same comparison not that much earlier, and the Jets are giving a lot of signs of being maybe a 500 team at this point, and especially with the loss of Stephon Diggs and that season-ending knee injury there. I mean, there's just not a lot of hope. You're going to rely so much on your offense to the point where your defense isn't really stepping up. Teams are going to steamroll right over you. It's a pitching duel at that end.
Yeah, I mean, in this week, like the Jets are going against the Texans, who are depleted. Nico Collins is out until week 10. They're saying Stephon Diggs out for the season. This could be a rebound week for the Jets defense, but again, C.J. Stroud is playing very well. He does have Tank Dell back. Joe Mixon's been electric for the run game. So I still think that the Jets are not going to do well this week against the Texans.
I mean, they gave up 3 rushing touchdowns to the Patriots, and Joe Mixon, although he's dealt with his fair share of injuries this year, when he plays, he puts up monster numbers.
Exactly. Yeah, he's been very good for the Texans. Very exciting to see him.
Meanwhile, their competitors in the AFC East, the Buffalo Bills at 6-2, they play the Miami Dolphins. They are running away with this division.
Yeah, no, they really are. But I will say this is not an easy game for Buffalo this week. They might be caught by surprise by the Miami Dolphins. I know we were talking before the show, Cedric, that Tua Tagovailoa, him playing on the Dolphins makes them a completely different team. So, I mean, what are you seeing out of this game? Because, yes, the Bills are on a roll, but, you know, the Dolphins almost won against my Cardinals last week, which thank God they didn't. But, you know, what are you thinking?
Tua has just shown time and again that he is the system. I mean, this is an offense that puts up 25-plus when Tua plays. And then when he doesn't, they're limited to under 17 points a game. I mean, on the other side of the ball here, Josh Allen for the Bills, I mean, he is putting up MVP numbers.
Yeah.
14 touchdowns, only 1 pick, and it came last week.
Yeah, exactly. And that's just unprecedented for Josh Allen. I mean, it's nice that your Seahawks got that
Don't bring
pick,
it up.
But, yeah, no, it was a rough game for Seattle.
Was definitely a rough game, but also the Bills are kind of dominant over the Dolphins. I mean, they've won 5 straight matchups and 12 of the last 13. And like you said, Josh Allen is definitely emerging with those numbers. Of course, it's always nice when your team can give him his first interception of the season, but it's definitely going to be a high stakes matchup. But I mean, the Dolphins gave up that last second defeat to the Arizona Cardinals not too long ago. So we'll see how this game plays out. It's definitely going to be interesting.
And I think the division as a whole has just been one of the biggest disappointments of the year. I mean, everybody thought the competition coming in, they thought it was going to be a 3-horse race between the Jets, the Bills, and the Dolphins. A lot of people weren't sure who was going to win the division, and it looks like the Bills will just coast to a division title.
Yeah, the Bills are going to coast, and it's really nice now to see the rhythm that they're on. They've been establishing the run this year, which this has been the year in the NFL of the running game. We've seen the most rushes and the most rushing yards from any team, really, in the last, 10 years from what I've been seeing. And it just the Bills are a part of that. The Bills are establishing the run. Josh Allen looks way more comfortable back there behind the pocket. He doesn't have to force the ball to Stephon Diggs because of the pressure of getting the ball to a high-stakes player like Stephon Diggs. And Keon Coleman, he hasn't done much this year, but ever since they brought Amari Cooper in, he's looking like a solid option there at receiver. So now with that emergence, the Bills, they could go places this year. I really think so. And especially with Kansas City, Patrick Mahomes having a little bit of a down year. Yes, Kansas City is Kansas City with Mahomes, but I think the Bills have a real shot to knock them off this year.
I mean, for all the criticism that we're offering the Jets here, it's not that much better for the other team in the Big Apple, the New York Giants.
No, not at all. It really isn't. I mean, that game against the Steelers, they really needed something there. You know, they had the ball at the end and were trying to put something together, and then I guess in this case, the terrifier for them, TJ Watt, just ended their hopes and dreams.
Yes.
So, you know, same thing. Like Daniel Jones, I've said it time and time again, and we've talked about it, Cedric. He's not worth $40 million. And they should have saved some money and given it to Saquon. But it's benefited your team. But the Giants are really hurting. They have to really evaluate what they're going to do at that quarterback position, because I don't think Daniel Jones is the answer.
Yeah, on behalf of all Philadelphia Eagles fans, thank you to the New York Giants organization for allowing Saquon to come to our organization here. I mean, Danny Dimes, more like Danny Klutz in the clutch. He's not clutch.
Yeah, no.
Daniel Jones is not clutch. He simply does not get the job done under 2 minutes left in the game when the game is on the line.
Yeah, no, he does not. And I mean, we can't put it all on the offense, though. Like, the defense has to play better, too. They allowed 167 rushing yards against the Steelers last week. They were averaging 5.4 yards per carry. Najee Harris is looking like primetime Najee Harris again, and it's really nice to see. But, yeah, I mean, the Giants, they got a lot to figure out. They really do.
And then they're playing a Commanders team atop of this NFC East. What a season they're having. Jaden Daniels making a strong case for Rookie of the Year. How about that Hail Mary last Sunday? Unbelievable.
Beautiful.
Yeah, that was so beautiful. And it's amazing because when they had the ball with 6 seconds left on the 35-yard line, they were pressed way back. I'm like, that is not a good idea. Like, is you're going to give them the opportunity to move it just a little closer to get that shot? And that's exactly what they did. As soon as they did that, I was like, didn't know what was going to happen. I was like, I think Washington has a legitimate shot. And then we see the Hail Mary.
Well, can we talk about Tyreek Stevenson taunting Commanders fans in the background and just completely missing his play? And that's kind of what allowed them to run away with that win. That was just such an interesting play. I remember that popping up on TikTok and being like, this is real? You're not watching the play behind you? Like, turn around.
Did anybody else see the clip of the Washington Commanders fan that was being interviewed mid-play as that play was happening?
Mid-play?
And then they caught his raw reaction with all the people around him. If you haven't seen that yet, that clip is worth checking out.
We need to see that, definitely.
I definitely would like to see that, Cedric. That's awesome.
Well, I mean, it's just amazing to see what this Commanders team has done. I mean, this is a team that was projected, I believe the win totals were just set at 5 or 6 before the season began, and they're already 6-2 on the year.
Yeah, I personally, I think at this rate, as long as Jaden Daniels stays healthy and that rib does not become an issue later on in the season, I see them winning the division. I really do. I mean, the Eagles are striding now, so the Eagles will definitely give them some competition. But Dallas, no, I just don't see it with Dallas. I don't see Dallas being a legitimate threat. I mean, that could change, but Dallas has a really hard schedule going forward, and Washington's been striding. I mean, they really have rallied behind him, and the defense. Washington's defense is really good, and you know, when a young quarterback can trust his defense and rely on his defense, like that gives him a lot of confidence. And not to say that the Commanders have a super easy schedule, because they don't, but I think it's a lot easier than the Cowboys, who have at least 6 playoff teams to go. Teams that will make the playoffs they have to play against. So.
And I think the Giants are in a tough spot. I don't think there's a whole lot they could do to avoid falling to 2-7 here. I would think Washington is the sizable favorites. I'd be stunned with a Giants victory.
Definitely.
Yeah. Me too.
After this, for a short 4-minute break, we'll be back with the MLB recap, I guess, the championship team, LA Dodgers. And we've got a little NBA and NHL for you here. You're listening to Newhouse Afternoon on ESPN, and watch us on Twitch at qsportstalk.com.
All right, I'm going to become a sad coyote right now.
Oh, this mask is
a sweatshirt.
hot.
Oh, the costumes are coming off, everybody.
It's when the sun comes on. I'm sorry.
Except Superman, I'm still here.
Has anyone said anything?
Let's check.
All right, we got the Coyotes merch on. Rest in peace.
Someone said Tua is trash. Will win by 14. Bills will win by 14. Watch. Well, I will comment to that actually, because I was looking. Week 2 when the Bills played the Dolphins, they did have Tua's number. They won 31-10. So it's very possible. I mean, the Bills are striding, and Tua's still trying to figure it out. I think what's really encouraging, though, I will say, is against the Cardinals, my team. He had that run, that scramble. You probably saw it, where he's running, and everybody's like, oh no, like, Tua running again? Like, that's how he got injured, was running the ball. So, and then he slid. And it's funny because people were cheering for him when he got that first down. The cheers roared through the stadium when he slid. Everyone's like, yes, like he's getting smarter. So, I just thought that was neat. But yeah, the Bills are rolling, and I like this Bills team. Josh Allen, I think, is playing a lot more humbly. So,
yeah, humbly, I like that. Do you think we're gonna have another AFC championship?
Yeah,
similar to that.
Man, these Chiefs, man, I just don't know what to think about them. Like, they give me headaches, man, because Pat Mahomes, his stats on the season, he's throwing less than 200 yards a game, 6 touchdowns, 8 interceptions.
9 now.
Yeah, 9. Thank you. Yes, 9 interceptions. He's averaging more interceptions a game than touchdowns, yet they're 7-0. Like, that terrifies me. Because, like, if he's playing bad now and they get to the playoffs, it's not going to continue. I mean, I'd be shocked if it does, and I hope it does, because I want to see someone new in there. I want to see a Baltimore get a chance. I want to see a Buffalo get a chance. Even the Steelers with their young, exciting team. I mean, Russ Wilson is not young, but that's still exciting.
So he's looking like his Seahawks prime again, which is kind of nice.
Exactly. And though, like, people are like, oh, why'd you bench Justin Fields? Like, he was doing well. It's like, Russ is proving that he's the good number one option. But you can then do some you can have 2 quarterback packages and really utilize Justin Fields. And then, as we were talking about predictability with the offenses, like, that's so unpredictable. You don't know what's going to happen. So, how you feeling, Seth, about your Eagles?
Okay. I mean, I'm feeling fine after that big win against Cincinnati.
Yeah, dude.
And then a dominant win against the Giants before that. I think the Eagles are back to where people thought they were going to be before the season started. Exactly. They just needed their pieces back.
Yeah, Jalen Hurts is looking a lot more confident. Throwing that deep ball to Devontae Smith, that was huge. That was huge. And their schedule it's not extremely easy, but it's not terrible. I mean, I think if they do well to finish the season here with the stride they're on, they're looking good for the playoffs, dude. They're looking good. Getting back to true form.
All right. We agree to go to break and come back for a 4th block, right?
Yes.
We agree to not do that again.
We agree. So at this rate, we got to probably go to break at like 2:45, 2:46. Because, I mean, our 4th block, we don't have a ton, but we need to give time.
Hey, Jordan, did we do the driver Cicero yet? Not yet.
Yeah, I don't think we have.
Okay, I'll do it. Yeah.
3.1. Watch live on QSportsTalk.com. Tomorrow's broadcasting stars today. Broadcasting live from the campus of Syracuse University. This is Newhouse Afternoon.
Welcome back to Newhouse Afternoon on ESPN 97.7 and on QSportsTalk.com. This hour of Newhouse Afternoon is powered by Drivers Village Cicero. Go to dvoffers.com for more info. Guys, congratulations to the LA Dodgers on winning it all.
Yes.
I know that the Central New York crowd might be down with yesterday's result, a 5-0 lead. I really thought the Yankees were going to force Game 6 there. I'm stunned.
I know. I really am too, but that 5-run inning that the Dodgers had, it just showed that this was their year. They were hungry, they were determined, and really, what about Freddie Freeman, man? Like, that guy he was remarkable. But obviously not homering in that game, but the previous 6 World Series games having a home run. And I don't know if you guys saw any of the interview that he did about his dad. That was really touching, Basically, helped his dad save his life, basically. And finding out, like, his dad found out he had congestive heart failure, all this. And through that, got better. And if he didn't go to the hospital, Freddie's dad said that the doctor said he wouldn't have been alive the next day because it was that bad. So it's just really cool, full circle moment, because his dad was like, I'm going to get healthier and better so I can watch Freddie play. And now look at this. He's watched him win the World Series MVP. It hurts as a Yankees fan, but, you know, Freddie Freeman was the Superman for the Dodgers in this World Series. So, you know, you can't root against somebody like that.
And for those of you just joining in, Teddy does have the Superman shirt on. He is repping Clark Kent for Halloween here.
Yeah. Yeah, I had to take off this shirt because it was too hot. We had mentioned, you know, this record-breaking weather day for Halloween.
Cedric and I also took off our costumes. I was a deer. I'm now a sad Coyotes fan, so rest in peace to my favorite hockey team. And what are you dressed up as now?
Well, I had the 1500s plague mask on for those of you just tuning in to signify the end of the Jet season, but record-breaking heat today on Halloween. It's just too hot to leave this giant bird mask on.
Yeah, no, exactly. But Cedric, what are your thoughts on the World Series, man?
I thought the best team won. You know, I mean, Freddie Freeman, he was a stud in Atlanta. He's proving to be just that, and even more so maybe on the Dodgers. I mean, this is just a team that was loaded from top to bottom. I mean, Mookie Betts, Shohei Ohtani. I mean, there's just so much talent on this team. Everybody can hit it. I mean, the Yankees are known as the Bombers, but the Dodgers are really the ones living up to that name, especially this postseason.
Oh, yeah. No, exactly. And I feel like they relied too much on the identity of the Yankees, especially someone like Aaron Judge. I love Aaron Judge, but, you know, it was almost like you get a hit, which is a home run, or you strike out. And it was just hard to see as a Yankees fan, that rhythm. You know, they got that rhythm in Game 5 there with the home runs, but again, that inning where they just air after air, and then those runs coming in, that really drains the life and soul out of your team when you're trying to fight back 3-1, especially in front of your home fans. So just sad because the Yankees. That's just kind of their story with this team and the pieces they've been building the last few years. I'm hoping that the history will change soon. But again, I agree. The better team won. The Dodgers were the better team this year.
And it's disappointing because Garrett Cole, through the first 4 innings, was pitching a no-hitter.
Yeah. Yeah, that was upsetting, you know, especially because he would have kept pitching a no-hitter. That catch, Judge made an amazing catch the inning before to stop that big hit by Freddie Freeman, but then a simple fly ball just goes right through his glove pretty much, and that just started the downfall for them. So again, when you have errors made by your team, that doesn't help the pitcher, especially as he was throwing a no-hitter through 4 innings.
And the Yankees were on their way there to forcing a little piece of history. I mean, teams that had a 3-0 lead in the World Series in the modern era were 24-0. And 21 of those games ended in a sweep. So most teams just roll over. I mean, only 3 teams have forced a Game 5 from being down 3-0. The Yankees did that, and it really looked like they were going to force Game 6. I mean, Judge hit a home run. Stanton, Chisholm, it looked like it was all finally coming together to where the Yankees can maybe make a run, send this thing back to L.A., but it wasn't meant to be.
No, it was not meant to be. It was not meant to be. And it's sad, too, because they had that chance at the the bottom of the 9th where, you know, they could have gotten back to the top of the lineup with Soto, with Judge, with Stanton, and Gleyber Torres. You mean 0 for 5 as the leadoff? Like, that's not going to help. You got to get on base to get those guys opportunities to hit you in. But just the fact that they couldn't get back to the top of the lineup, that they were retired in 3 batters at the 9th inning, that was just sad to see.
So once again, congratulations to the LA Dodgers. We've got our resident hockey expert here in studio, Brooke Kilgore here. Brooke, give us the latest storylines in the NHL.
Yeah, so I mean, definitely the one main focus is the Islanders were the only New York team to play yesterday and tonight. So they did, unfortunately, drop a 2-0 loss to the Columbus Blue Jackets, who are projected preseason to be one of the worst teams in the NHL. Wow. They're coming out and absolutely dominating, but I found this fun little website called 13 Scary Islanders Facts on Halloween. Oh. And I would love to go through them with you guys, just because, yes, they did drop a 2-0 loss. Most people saw it happen. Just the goaltending was fabulous on the Blue Jackets side. So I think these would be a little fun to discuss. So fun fact, the Islanders have been shut out 4 times through their first 10 games. For the first time in franchise history. Are you guys getting shivers? Are we a little nervous? Or are you getting a little...
That's a spooky start, I'll say that much.
Yeah, definitely a little intimidating. A lot of people were expecting them to do a little bit better, considering that they did make an appearance in the postseason. But now that they're struggling, it's a little interesting to see. They also have one regulation win.
Oh.
They're 3-5 right now. One regulation win. That's also a little interesting. They also average the fewest goals in the NHL at 2.10, and they also score the fewest with 21. And they have the second fewest 5-on-5 goals in the league with 13. So I hope you all are quivering, because this is actually terrifying. I mean, we can go on also. They've had a bunch of injuries come in to kind of affect them. Alexander Romanov, who is expected to just miss one game, has missed 3. And I think these lines are definitely feeling the impact of that. But other than that, 3-5, not too bad. They are sitting almost bottom of the pile there, but they are doing a little bit better. But that's kind of the NHL news for the time being at the moment. But I would love to ask you guys, I mean, do you guys want to do some like Halloween movie rankings? Or like, you know, comparing teams again to Halloween movies? Do we have any interest in that? Does that sound like fun?
That sounds like fun.
Can we do this off the noggin? All right.
Sure.
So the Dodgers World Series, almost looking like an Edmonton and Florida, you know, Stanley Cup game there, where Edmonton almost came back, and then you have, you know, coming back and then absolutely dominating. Do we have a horror movie, or maybe we could do Candy? Do you guys think Candy would be easier?
Well, I was going to say, in terms of a movie, that's like Nightmare on Elm Street right there. I mean, because even teams fear the Dodgers hitters even in their dreams.
Yeah,
I feel like
exactly,
definitely.
Yes, they do, and the Yankees will definitely be seeing them in their dreams going forward, even hope into next season, especially because Shohei signed that big deal. He's not leaving anytime soon, and now he's got one under his belt in his first year as a Dodger. So
nice. And I'm going to say for the Islanders, I'm not a horror movie person, very like nervous around gore, but I'm going to say, what's that Netflix movie series, like Fear Street, I think it is, where this girl gets cursed and then these killers chase her around. That feels like the Islanders season right now, like projected to do very well, and they're just being chased around by injuries, by being shut out, also not scoring enough goals. They're being chased by these kind of issues that are preventing them from succeeding very well. So as a not horror movie watcher, I hope that was a good analogy for everybody. So
yeah, and one really quick horror movie comparison I want to make is we were talking about the Jets earlier and their high hopes and everything. I kind of see their season being like a Blair Witch Project. I thought the Blair Witch Project it was very underwhelming of a movie. It set itself up really good. You thought it was going to be a good ending, and then it kind of fell flat. And so with the Jets, like, you thought going in, like, oh, this is going to be a great season, but they're falling flat, and I think they're not going to end well. Just like, in my opinion, I don't think that movie ended very well. So to me, the Jets season is a Blair Witch Project.
I've got a little movie analogy for the Jets too, and that's going to be Us. The Jordan Peele movie Us, because the Jets are just imposters. The imposters are coming to the surface. They look great on paper, and then they're just taking over.
Yeah.
I don't know who this team is anymore.
Yeah, I don't know either, but that's a good one. I like that one.
All right, after this short 4-minute break, we'll be back with Syracuse Sports Candy Game here on Halloween. You're listening to Newhouse Afternoon on ESPN 97.7. Watch us on Twitch at qsportstalk.com.
Q Sports Talk is your place to be for Syracuse football.
We got the break in this time.
Yes, we did. Terrence, do you want to see something funny? There's a 13 Scary Islanders facts on Halloween. And I used it in our Newhouse Afternoon segment. That's the Islanders expert right there. Should have had him fill in for a second.
That was good to break when we did. I don't think we had enough time for NBA.
No. We don't need to talk about that. There's not really anything like exciting going on with the New York teams, especially.
Well, the Nets are looking better than people thought, I feel like. I mean, they beat the Bucks, they force overtime against the Nuggets, and then they beat the Grizzlies with Ja last night. And this is a team that was supposed to tank for Cooper Flag.
Yeah. That's true. That is totally
Glad to
true.
hear it.
Whoever gets Cooper Flag, though, man, like, watch out. I mean,
see, I've been telling people this. I think that the Nets are too talented on paper to have a good shot at the number 1 overall pick. I mean, because you've got Cam Thomas, who's going to ball out. Ben Simmons, whatever you want to say about him, but he's healthy right now and playing. You got good role players like Cam Johnson, Dorian Finney-Smith, Dennis Schroeder is balling out. And so I don't think from top to bottom, that's not a roster that goes 18-64. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So is Ben Simmons playing, though? I thought I saw something he was out the other day because of lower back pain.
He was out for the one game, but he was in yesterday against the Grizzlies and looked pretty good.
Okay. No, that's good. I mean, I want to see Ben Simmons do well. I really do. I feel for the guy. It's been tough to see, as a 76ers fan, it's been tough to see the fall of Ben Simmons. That's not been easy. But
all right, so just a heads up, we're only going to have about 4 to 5 minutes here.
I will not talk about volleyball that much, I promise.
Well, no,
I will keep it short.
Please talk about it. I know what I'm going to do for my candy with the SU basketball.
Okay.
So.
Do you want to take basketball and I'll take volleyball?
Sure.
Okay.
And Cedric, yeah, please chime in. Who was the player that didn't play the other day for the women's?
Georgia Woolley.
Georgia Woolley.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Ow. Oh, Ava Palm, the woman you are. Do you have any comments either? Do you have any comments still?
Oh, yeah, it's Shaq.
Make sure the chat doesn't...
Nope. Doesn't look like it. Well, guys,
did they not like our Halloween costumes?
I don't know. I think they're a little underwhelmed, but
I think they left because we took them off. Should have kept them on.
My bad, guys. My bad.
Well, no, more people have joined us since we started. So, but guys, any comments you have for us about anything we've talked about today? The costumes, also the Halloween segments, even the New York sports, the Jets, Syracuse football. We're about to, talk some more Syracuse sports. So give us your thoughts. We only have about 5 more minutes left with you guys, so please let's hear from you.
Yeah, fire those questions in the chat on Twitch, and we'll try to answer your questions as best we can.
I didn't know Georgia Woolley was from Australia. That's cool.
There's three Aussies on that team. The Aussie connection.
Really? Okay.
Oh, not even, guys. We're going to have about 3 minutes.
All right, I'll make it quick.
It's just going to be a candy game.
Yeah,
if I start talking too much about Ava Palm, you can be like, stop it. Are we all giving our own candy opinion, or is it just one per person? Because it'll be faster if we just each.
Yeah, I'm only gonna do one. Yeah.
Volleyball, women's basketball, men's basketball.
Yeah, I mean, it said if you want to do your candy for women's and men's too, you can. Because I'm going to just throw my candy out for both basketball.
ESPN Syracuse Sports Talk Shows on QSportsTalk.com.
You'll do the one?
Yeah.
Or I should.
Tomorrow's broadcasting stars today. Broadcasting live from the campus of Syracuse University. This is Newhouse Afternoon.
Welcome back to Newhouse Afternoon on ESPN 97.7 and on QSportsTalk.com. It's Halloween.
You're giving a little Jekyll and Hyde right now. If you look on the screen, your face is like half bright and half not on. It's kind of an interesting Halloween costume. There you go.
Right, and it is Halloween, and there's no more appropriate way to end the show here than ending with a Syracuse sports candy game. And so, Brooke, what would you rate the Syracuse volleyball team? What candy are they?
Ooh, so they just got their very first ACC win since almost 2 years ago, basically, since the 2022 season. A 3-2 set victory over Virginia Tech, who was the second worst in the ACC, so it wasn't a big dominant win like they were probably looking for, but a win is a win. So I would definitely say I would give them, the Sour Patch watermelon gummies. They're really sour at first. The ACC conference play for Syracuse women's volleyball hasn't been great, but then it gets sweet. You finally get to that middle and you finally break it down, and it's good. So I'm giving them the Sour Patch watermelon kids.
Syracuse men's and women's basketball both played exhibitions this week, and they both came out victorious. Teddy, what are your candies here for the basketball teams?
Well, I'm going to give the same candy for both the men's and the women's basketball team, because this is truly what I'm seeing. I see them both being starbursts. Because we have stars on our teams that are bursting in these exhibition games, and I don't personally think that there is a bad flavor of starburst. Maybe you guys disagree. And right now, the players are all looking pretty solid. Chris Bell has only played 16 minutes, 20 minutes in the so 36 minutes in the first 2 games, and he's got 33 points in that time. He's shooting above 50% from 3. Donnie Freeman's looking great. J.J. Starling's looking great. Eddie Lampkin, they're all looking good. On the women's side, we had 3 players with 16 points in that exhibition game. Kyra Wood, Kira Scott, Shai Hawkins, and then also that was without Georgia Woolley, who's supposed to be the star this year. So starburst would be my answer.
I've got one for the women's basketball team as well. I think the women's basketball team is a Take 5 candy bar because, there's just not one piece on this team. They lost Fair last year, their most dominant scorer, and then there's a lot of members of the team that just had to step up. Coach Felicia Leggett-Jack described this team as positionless from the 1 to the 5. This is a highly switchable roster. You got the Australians here with Burrows and Woolley. That's a tandem that you have to watch out for. And then, of course, you got the mama bear of this team, Isabel Verajao. Women's basketball is at an exciting time right now, especially in college basketball.
Amen. I agree with that.
On this Halloween day, that will do it for this episode of Newhouse Afternoon. I'm Cedric Derecho here with Teddy Caputo and Brooke Kilgore. We will see you guys in 2 weeks. Different crew back tomorrow.
This is Orange Nation.
The fan interference.